Hello, this is Crazy Cat, and I'm starting the second part of my Let's Play for Fallen London. I'm probably not sounding so great. I've been having a headache trying to figure out how to get the sound to work right for the other Let's Not Play. I'd rather not play. The sound for the game doesn't want to record right, and I'm having trouble finding a good program to blend it in. Alright, I thought I'd show some things here I saved, and I did get everything that I needed with the pearls and the tickets. This is a main storyline, and as you can see, you can't discard it. And this gives you a couple of options for your story to develop. Your surface ties, and I'll just go with someone who sent me looking for secret knowledge. And I got a gold one that should lead to something, but I don't have enough cryptic clues for it. I also accidentally made progress into the Cherry Man, but you can get that from either one of these, from more than just a landlord. An opportunity for a profit. As I said, most of these don't give as much as some of the other things you would normally get, but sometimes you do get something useful, and it's kind of hard to tell what's useful or what isn't unless you go to these and check, or you've been playing before. You might just want to try them all out, and then if you see them again, and you would know. But off to show you what I was going to show you. You go here and you buy the tickets, and you go down here to spin them. Since I'm aiming to get in good with the constables, I want to go to the big top, and it shows that I only have a 20% chance with watchfulness, so very likely I fail, but I gain a connection of 5 with them. And I will do this. Oh, I succeeded and got a lot more. Every time you gain a point, it gets harder to get the next one. There's a formula for this, but it goes up exponentially. And now I have over 10, so it got knocked down here to an unfulfillable conditions. And to get the society, you have to have the Dalling of the Ambassador's Ball, which is pretty easy to get. But I suggest that you stay here. Wow. And use up your actions to get your connection grinded up with everyone as high as you can get it, because this can only get you up to 10, and various other actions will get you above 10 pretty quickly on your own, but doing this beforehand will allow those actions to take you beyond 10. The visit, here are some of the acquaintances you can make. You want to keep an eye out for these acquaintances. If you get a chance to talk with them, don't ignore it. Let's go back to the Cherry Man. Oh, well, I'll go ahead and look at this first. I suggest to immediately go looking for the last constable. If you don't do it right away, you will start getting some of the turncoat stuff. And if you do it here, it's best to just stick to your guns. But I will show you something that I noticed. You will see a couple of chances to make connections with some minor characters, like the cold delivery and Clayman. Once you follow this little storyline and you help him out, he will be friends with you. This doesn't really offer you too much of an advantage in the game besides opening up more stories. And if you remember, I talked about there being... I can't do that, I'm not dangerous enough. More people here that will show up. And once you have a good connection with that Clayman, he'll give you advice on dangerous things to do. There's Urchin for shadowy things to do, and I don't remember the other ones. This is the prologue of Mysterious Benefactor, and it's a short little story based off of... Oh, I thought what you picked out first determined what you get, but I guess not. I always go with the shoes. It does determine what story you get, so it doesn't... And you can change your mind later, but I don't know if that requires fate or not. But I always get the shoes because, like I said, these are the best watchful shoes you will see for quite some time. Actually, I think they're the best watchful shoes, period. That's kind of sad. Also, you'll get a chance to buy some Fourth City rags. Don't turn it down. You'll get a little bit of nightmares, but it's worth the watchfulness. You'll sometimes get messages here. And they will lead you to storylines that you might have passed up on. This one is a clandestine meeting. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. I know I'm having problems with language. I don't know if this does what I think it does, but I know it gives you a pet. It might set the faction you pick as the faction you're siding with. This affects a lot. You want to decide which faction you want to favor over all the other ones. And right now with this character, I am going to go with the constables, so I'm going to click on them. And it does not make you favor them. Alright. But it did make me lose connections with them. However, I now have a pet. That makes me scary. Dreadful is higher level. Wow, I just went completely brain dead. Woo! It's a higher level trait. You don't have very many ways of getting it, so it's not that bad to have. As you can see here, your possessions or associates show. Not sure where I got cut off at the 10-minute line, but I was talking about Dreadful. When you get it, it raises. It's a minor, higher level trait, like one of these, but it only goes up. Well, it only goes up with items and acquaintances, and there's not very much. I don't even think there is a way to raise it independently just on yourself. But if you go down here, your possessions and associates show that you're someone to be avoided. You're a scary guy or girl or questionable gender. Because this is a rather scary dog. Also, the dog will open up a little bit of storyline. You see that I also got something here. If you see her in a card that you get turned over, you should help her out. You'll get her business card, and you can click on the business card to get this screen and give you a couple of options. Also, there are some cases late in the game that if you have one of those, you can if you have one of these business cards, you can spend it to get her help, which is kind of cool. I should also talk about these. You won't see it right now for a while, but for those of you who are watching this and went straight to playing it, which I doubt there's very many, at least at this point, maybe later on, you will find that these items can be upgraded, and most of them can be anyway. You know, go with Elder Goods. Say you have Jade Fragments, you can upgrade them into Relics of the Third City. Relics of the Third City can be upgraded into Mysteries of the Elder Continent. Mysteries of the Elder Continent can be upgraded to Presbyterate. Well, what the whatever the fuck that is. And those can be upgraded into Antique Mysteries, and they can be upgraded into Primeval Hints. You also notice, though, that the Mysteries of the Elder Continent can be turned into Incendiary Gossip. That is a type of rumor. And there are some in this level that can be changed into something that's not a part of their chain. Incendiary Gossip can be turned into a Memories of Distant Shores, which is a type of nostalgia. At least I thought it was a type of nostalgia. Is it Luminosity? No. Now I feel kind of stupid because I don't remember what that's a part of. Maybe that's Elders. No. Cartography? No. Academic? Yeah, it's Academic. Memory of Distant Shores. And as you can see, pretty much everyone has one thing that it can be turned into on another tree or another set. And you go here to your items screen to do it. Just click on it and you'll get the option here. Most of them have two. This one only has one. This one should have two. Usually the two options is a smaller amount. Yeah, here's a smaller amount and a larger amount. Doing the smaller amount usually has a chance that says it could go either way. If it fails, you just get the item upgrade. If it succeeds, you get something a little extra. And if you trade in bulk, then you just get the item upgrade. But you're not wasting a bunch of actions. see if I got anything good. Nope. Now, yeah, you can also come here to try and deal with your menaces. And that reminds me, there are some qualities that go with watchfulness. Well, there are items that go with watchfulness, shadow, dangerous, and persuasive. Let me see if it gives a list here that will say what they are, because I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Nope. Not here. Maybe it's under this. I should have looked this up ahead of time. Well, they're called second chances. And they're not easy to get in most circumstances. So you really should save them up. And whenever you use them, it's just like it says, you will get a second chance at an action. Taking the action another time doesn't cost an action point, but it does use up your second chance whether you fail or succeed. So even if you select to use a second chance, it's used no matter what. This comes in handy if you don't think you're going to succeed, but you really have to. If you fail and you have used a second success, you can back out of it, which is another very important thing to know about it. You can just hit perhaps not, and you're free of that failure. This little story with your benefactor is not that long, and it has a little bit of a benefit to it, so you should go ahead and check it out. Once you are done getting all the connections you need, I suggest that you do follow the, it was in Spite, wasn't it? No, I don't remember where it was. But I suggest you finish the story with the last constable, and go ahead and work towards getting your job with the Watchers, because your job upgrading your job is always a good thing to do. Well, that was befriending a rooftop urchin. That is the guy I was talking about before. Well, I'm going to stop now and come back sometime later, probably tomorrow, once I have finished building up all of my connections. Okay, so a little bit more time has passed since I last did this, a little more than I planned anyway. I've been kind of sick, but I have managed to do what I said I was going to do, and if you see here, we'll go back, and I now have all my contacts above 10, which will come in a great bit of handy. And if you notice, criminals will go above 15 in that thing. It took about somewhere around the range of 500 moon pearls to turning into tickets, and I had a couple left over. Just to go over some things, I think I might have said this before, but curiosities, most of them you'll be able to click on and have some options, and the other ones you can only click on them to upgrade them into better items. Like here, you can try and upgrade it into a the Primordial Shriek into a Maniac's Prayer. This, of course, is once again part of the surface ties. Once you wrap this up, it's about cutting yourself from the surface, and it kind of gives you a bit of a story to your character. I don't know what kind of future effects it has, but I haven't really seen any. Right now I'm at the Assailant. Someone came from the surface down after you. I'll just go with the crazy guy. I've been trying to get to finish the saving the clay man, and I've just now gotten the dangerous up to the point that I can, and I might be able to do it now. Once again, I've hit a little bit of a dead end. I now need 23 dangerous, and I only have 19. Kind of unfortunate, but I'll be able to show something here. You get more experience towards, well, more change points towards something if you fail than you would if you succeed. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you how many change points you have and how many you have left. And you can use that to judge how many you get. See, I just got 3 for succeeding that. Let's see if I can fail it. I got about the same for failing it. I think it has to be a good bit hard. Like very chancy or more. Let's check some of these and see if I can find something particularly hard. Nope. Guess I have to stick to this for now. But you should go for the hardest thing you can find up until about 40 in each category. Once you reach 40, the challenges will start to have will start to give you menaces as you fail them. Most dangerous challenges will give you wounds. Most shadowy challenges will give you suspicion. Most persuasive challenges will give you scandal, and most watchful challenges will give you nightmares. And as you can see, I got a little bit of all of them except suspicion. And I said you could get rid of them here, but I did go into detail about that. And we'll go into detail a little more on some of these things. You don't want to sell your wines, your rats, and your surface currency. It's also a good idea to save these. Someone should really make a list of everything you need and later in the game. A lot of this stuff you can farm up, but some of the stuff you need ridiculously large amounts of, and it can get hard to get them. So it helps to have them. Like, for example, this is one of the hardest things to get. You need 80,000 whispered secrets. That's quite a task. This one requires 40,000 drops of prisoner's honey. And this requires 1,250 brilliant souls, which is on par, which these all cost about the same thing. So they're all really hard to get. Right now, I think we can get ourselves a better room. Yep. I'll just go for the lair in the marshes. I thought I had that many rats on a string. Oh, no. I have rusty gold. I think there's one for sale for rusty gold. Yep. The Smoky Flophouse. Now once you have it, if you go down here under Curiosity, you'll find your key, and you need one action to move, which should be coming up real soon. And once you do move, it will increase, but you will be able to, some of the locations give you certain cards. You just have to have the keys to get them. And this is one of those cards I was talking about earlier, the Kaleidoscope Church. The Bohemians want to, have built this rather nice church. Since the Vicar welcomed a coterie of artists into the congregation, the small church has become a very different place. Unmarried ladies attend without a chaperone, light music is played during service, and now a final outrage, a respectful gray stone, sorry about that, yeah, well, the place got painted. So they want you to either make an example and force the Bohemians out, or seduce them and give them a reason to leave. Or you can protect them. Whatever you do, it'll give you a smaller amount of loss to one and a bigger gain to the other. And then there's one down here that doesn't give you a change in connection to either one, but it'll give you some sort of reward, and a much bigger one if you're actually able to get them to go to get together. And usually that's an extremely hard one. What? I'm sorry, I don't even know why the heck it's doing this. But as you can see, I only have a 6% chance of getting this. It's that's ridiculous. I'll get back to you later. Okay, I had a little bit of a problem. I don't know why, but there was something wrong with the audio again. This time it was pretty bad. You wouldn't be able to even understand what I said. I recorded quite a bit of what was going on, and, well, it's worthless. I can't even use it. What I basically have to go over is I was talking about these bronze cards in more detail. They have some of them will work off of a certain quality. For example, this is a running battle, and you need at least 5 to complete it. And you will use the activities in the bronze card to raise running battle. And there are some other bronze cards and stuff that will use running battle, and you can have more than one ep at a time, but I suggest just using the card associated to it, because if you use a lower card, you won't get as much progress as if you use a higher level card. I also talked about that you do get messages in here. It's nothing in here now, but you do get messages that are from the game, and they are related to stories, and they do give you things, so you should check here even if you aren't playing with someone else. Here you can use the item, and it only costs one action to change where you are, and the only real reason to do that is to gain an extra card slot. Just having the key unlocks stories for that place, but you actually have to move if you want the key slot. If you want the card slot. Most of these, from here all the way up to here, are all 3 slots, but these last 3 are 4 slots and can be upgraded to a 5. But that's probably not going to happen anytime this year, even if you start working on it now. The cost to just get the room with the 4 slots is ridiculous, and you don't even want to know what it takes to get the 5 slot. It's well, just for example, you for the brass embassy room, you basically need to tell them where the King of Hell is hiding. Give him a large portfolio of souls, and there's some other stuff. To get a lengthy lease at a place in the bazaar, to get the better room. One of the items you have to get is a vial of Master's blood. Yeah. Even if you haven't played the game a little bit, I'm sure you can imagine how hard that is. Getting some of the blood of these mysterious creatures, no one has even seen what they look like under the cloaks. Good luck with that. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to trade some insanely expensive things. I believe it costs 7 tiers of the bazaar. And tiers of the bazaar in and of their own require some very, 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 very expensive wine just to get one. And I'm at a bit of a place though right now where I won't be able to give you too much more information, although you'll see some cards like this. I should tell you, they are cards that will give you discounts on upgrading items. You should keep an eye out for them if you have what you need. And these also give you, this one happens to give you upgrades that you normally wouldn't be able to get. Like 5 cellars of wine for, what is this? I think it's a First Summers, well, I don't know. I actually don't remember what most of these are, but they're very good wines and very expensive and can be used later in the game, or actually required. But of course the cost is extraordinarily expensive. Like, this one requires 5,000 gray fells and 1879s. That's a lot. I don't have much use for that though, because I hardly have anything. I suggest working towards getting plus 30 in items for your qualities. You can do that relatively cheaply with the items in this price range that have like this one's a plus 5 for 40 echoes. You go here in the same price range almost, you can get another plus 5, and you go here, see another plus 5 in the similar price range. So you can get together a 30 easily. Except with watchfulness, there's not really a good watchful shoe, which is why I suggested to keep the mirror polished ones. I'll go ahead and sell off some of the stuff I don't need to. Get something. Hold on. And it seems frozen. Oh, that's... Yeah, usually if it freezes up, you can just back out and try again. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. But you can generally collect enough to get 20 or so in a couple in like 1 day or 2 days of just going around and collecting whatever. Though it doesn't quite look like I had enough. And I'll probably have to go back to farming if I want to get anything in the right price range, because anything less is just wasteful. Nope, I'll have to do it again. But thing I'll be aiming for is the anti-country rifle, because as you can see, there's no real good plus 5 dangerous, so I have to settle a plus 4. The only other upgrade is a plus 6 which would cost too much. Alright, well, I'll see you when I have my dangerous up, and there's some notes here after I'm done. Thank you. Oh, I just stumbled onto something I should add. Thief Stop, I think it was. It unlocks the Cheesemonger storyline on the trail of the Cheesemonger. At first, 1 through 4, and then I think 6 through 8, she will send you on various different missions to sabotage or gather information from various groups. Now you can use that to progress through the story by doing what she says, and the story does unlock a lot of things for various different things, mainly the game and the constables. but if you want, it's a very good way to raise the various factions by tipping them off that she's trying to interfere what they're doing. If you go through with her what she wants, you won't lose faction points with them, and you'll progress the story. If you tip them off, you won't lose story points and you'll gain faction points. So it doesn't matter what you do, it won't hurt you one way or the other. It's a pretty good story to get caught on into as early as possible, because they all come from the deck of cards. And I also should point out Fate. You get Fate from completing some storylines, and it works just like Nex. And Nex you can spend to do various things, I believe I told, but you can get some through Fate. And it's the same thing. Really the only use for Fate I suggest is some certain storylines. I don't suggest using it to get rid of any maladies. I would use it for a special option when it comes to getting your destiny told, because that's something that's only going to come up once. If you're happy with it, you got it, you stick with it. Other than that, you could use it to become an exceptional friend. It gives you twice as many actions in storage and access to the House of Chimes, which I don't know much about, because I don't think the House of Chimes was in the game when I became, oh no, it was in the game, but I didn't have high enough of any abilities to use it. If you want to use it to unlock any stories, I suggest you look it up online and see what people have to say about the stories. The one story I would suggest using it on is one that comes out of the Labyrinth of Tiger, late in about Dangerous 120 range. It involves breeding creatures. If you spin Fate on that, you actually gain the ability to crossbreed different creatures, and you'll get some access to some very strange creatures that you get to keep for yourself that make excellent pets. In fact, one of the craziest pets in the game is only available that way. But it's I don't even think anyone owns one. It's ridiculously expensive. It's the Uber Goat, because you have to breed 2 overgoats with each other to get it. And yeah, look at that. That's insane. Yeah, not gonna happen. At least not for a long time. I think someone estimated at the highest level with the greatest amount of grinding, spending every action every day, you would have to grind and do nothing other than grind for 3 months just to get 1 overgoat. And yeah, I don't know anyone has an Uber Goat, but you could be the first, and you could show it off and be like, I'm a badass. Alright. As I said, sorry about that. I felt like I needed to include that in the end. There is still more after this in the kind of a credits, so to say. Alright, I'll see you when I get my dangerous up.